Have you ever noticed how some people respond to a work crisis by rage-scrolling social media, while others suddenly become obsessed with organizing their closets? One person stress eats, another stress cleans. Same anxiety, completely opposite behavior. But here's the question. What makes someone reach for a vacuum instead of a venting session when their world feels like it's falling apart? Stick with me until the end, because what you'll discover might even explain why you do half the things you do when life gets overwhelming. For some, the story is simple but painful. Imagine this. You're 8 years old. Your parents are fighting again. The tension in the house is suffocating. You can't fix their marriage. You can't make the yelling stop. But you can organize your toy box. You can make your bed with hospital corners. You can create one small corner of order in a chaotic world. This is what psychologists call displacement activity mixed with a desperate need for control. When your emotional environment feels unpredictable, you redirect that anxiety towards something tangible, something you can actually manage. The dishes don't talk back. The folded laundry doesn't disappoint you. The spotless counter can't abandon you. And here's what happens. Your brain learns a pattern. Stress equals chaos. Cleaning equals control. Do it enough times and it becomes automatic. A neural pathway carved so deep that 30 years later, when your boss criticizes your presentation, you're suddenly scrubbing grout at midnight. It's not about the grout. It never was. It's about protecting yourself from the feeling of helplessness by creating visible proof that you can still influence something in your environment, even if it's just the shine on your kitchen floor. Then there's another group. These are people drowning in what psychologists call decision fatigue and cognitive overload. They're not running from childhood trauma. They're running from their inbox, from their calendar, from the 17 browser tabs open in their mind at all times. Modern life demands constant mental processing. Should I respond to that email now or later? What's for dinner? Did I pay that bill? Should I take that opportunity? How do I balance everything? Your brain has a limited capacity for executive function. Think of it like a battery that depletes with every decision you make. And when that battery hits red, something interesting happens. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for complex planning and emotional regulation, starts to falter. But your motor cortex still works fine. So you clean. Not because you're avoiding feelings, but because cleaning offers what psychologists call cognitive relief through concrete action. It's a task with a clear beginning, middle, and end. You spray, you wipe, it's clean, done. In a world where nothing ever feels finished, where your to-do list regenerates overnight like some kind of productivity hydra, cleaning provides immediate, visible results. You can look at that organized drawer and think, at least I accomplished something today. It's not avoidance. It's your brain's way of regulating itself when abstract problems become too numerous to process. And finally, there's a third group. These are people who've actually figured out something that took the rest of us decades to learn. Studies in developmental psychology show that self-soothing behaviors evolve as we mature. Children need external validation, parents, teachers, friends, to feel okay. But psychologically healthy adults develop what's called autonomous emotion regulation. They realize something profound. You don't always need to process every feeling the moment it arrives. Sometimes the healthiest response to stress isn't a therapy session or a journal entry or calling your best friend to dissect your emotions for 2 hours. Sometimes it's just doing something physical while your subconscious works through the problem on its own. cleaning becomes a form of active meditation. The repetitive motions, folding, wiping, organizing, create what neuroscientists call a default mode network activation. Your conscious mind focuses on the task, your subconscious gets space to integrate information, process emotions, and often reach conclusions you couldn't force through direct analysis. This is self-determination theory in action. These people have learned to trust their own rhythm. They know that stress doesn't require immediate intervention, that anxiety doesn't demand a narrative, that sometimes your body needs to move before your mind can settle. They clean when stressed, not because they're avoiding their feelings, but because they've learned that feeling better sometimes comes through action rather than analysis. It's quiet strength masquerading as household chores. And here's the most interesting part. This behavior, cleaning under stress, is rarely just about cleaning. It's usually part of a larger life pattern. People who stress clean often approach problems kinesthetically. When they're stuck on a creative project, they go for a walk. When they need to make a big decision, they cook an elaborate meal. When they're processing grief, they reorganize their entire garage. They've learned what research on embodied cognition confirms, that our bodies aren't separate from our thinking. Movement doesn't distract from problem solving. Sometimes it is the problem solving. Does that mean they never feel overwhelmed? Of course not. They're human. They have moments where they cry into the laundry basket or scrub the same counter 4 times because their mind won't stop racing. But they've discovered something valuable, that caring for your space can be a form of caring for yourself, that bringing order to your external environment can help bring order to your internal one, that sometimes the best therapy isn't talking about the mess, it's actually cleaning it up. It's a different kind of wisdom, one that doesn't wait for permission to feel better. So, whether you're someone who cleans to reclaim control in a world that once felt chaotic, or you're using physical tasks to give your overtaxed brain a break, or you've simply learned that movement helps you process better than sitting still, you're not weird. You're just working with your own psychology. For some, it's about healing old patterns of powerlessness. For others, it's about managing modern cognitive demands. And for many, it's about honoring the connection between body and mind. The real question is, which one are you? Are you cleaning to escape your feelings or to create space for them? If this made you think differently about why you do what you do when stress hits, you'll love the other psychology topics we cover here. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video where we dive deep into the kind of psychology that actually explains you. Not the textbook version, but the real version, the messy, human, oh my God, that's exactly what I do version.